In this week's Top Gear, Tiff gets some bugs in his teeth, courtesy of the Renault Spider. Steve Berry's been to Truckfest for a fest full of trucks. And Quentin tarts round in an old roller. Every year, the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders organises a secret motor show at a heavily guarded test track in Bedfordshire. They invite along motoring journalists not to just look at the cars, but to actually drive them. With so many cars in the same place, it's an ideal opportunity to have a whistle-stop end-of-series tour to see what should and shouldn't be on your shopping list as we career toward August the 1st. Let's start with the Probe. Now, it's been around 2 years and I still think it's a very good-looking, nicely engined sports coupe. It's also a Ford, so it's as sensible as a geography teacher. The only trouble is, you guys haven't been buying it. Sources in the fleet market say that all over Britain there are fields full of unsold Probes. Now this is good news, because dealers will be receptive to a bit of haggling. When they ask for £21,000 for a V6 model like this, laugh and start your bidding at 38p. However, discount hunters can forget Audi. The wonderful A8 here is starting to make serious overtones to the country's plutocrats. But the company's massive 50% increase in sales in 1996 is almost entirely due to the A4, which is now available as an estate. Audi's done its level best to spoil this particular car. They've ruined the value for money with £2,000 worth of unnecessary optional extras. They've fitted a diesel engine and they've painted it quite the most violent shade of green that I didn't create myself. But despite their best endeavours, despite all that, the A4 is still one good car. I'd have to say, in the upper echelons of the mid-rangers, you really can't do better. Volvo has been trying to spoil its 850 too. They've borrowed a 2.5-litre turbo diesel engine from Audi to create the £23,000 TDI. It's clattery at slow speeds and a bit pedestrian, but you should be able to average 33 miles to the gallon. And oh no, here comes another diesel. £19,000 puts you in the driver's seat of this oil-burning Jeep Cherokee. But if you really want to go off-roading on a shoestring, you can do better. We're usually pretty rude about LADAs on Top Gear, but this four-wheel drive NIVA is really not bad at all. It's not much cop on the road, and on this test, the headlights filled up with water. But it did impress us by being almost Range Rover comfortable when the going got tough. It has coil springs all round, a 1.7-litre engine and a bomb-proof interior, all for £8,000. And that is good value for money. This, on the other hand, is not. Honda has taken its NSX supercar to the hairdressers for a cut and blow dry. The new look car with its lift-out Targa roof panel is fine for posing round town, but on a road like this you notice some of the rigidity is gone, taking some of the driver appeal with it.
The day that Jackie jumped to jail, there was a big explosion just as he got off the motorway.
Things are the other way round at Lexus. This new sport version of the GS300 is nice to drive, but it looks faintly ridiculous. The spoilers look like hangovers from the 80s, and the tyres appear to be from a Diablo. Staying in the executive sector, BMW has fitted new engines to its 7 Series, and Jaguar now offers a long wheelbase version of the XJ Saloon. Sure, you get more legroom, but the gorgeous lines are spoiled. This is the new supercharged C-Class Mercedes. It's a good car, but it's a bit of a puzzler because, you see, it has the same power and it costs the same as its more refined 6-cylinder brother. So the question for Mercedes buyers now is simple. Would Sir like a refined Mercedes or a not-so-refined Mercedes? Ooh, well, for the same money, I'll take the not-so-refined one. Nope, so queer as fuck. And you really have to be very queer indeed to buy one of these glorified Honda Civics. Called the Rover 400 Saloon, it's overpriced, there isn't enough space inside, and the rear visibility is appalling. And then there's the VW Polo Saloon, £600 more than the hatchback, less practical, and uglier. And what about the Daihatsu Charade, or the Hyundai Lantra Estate, or indeed the Seat Toledo? Quite. What about them? You know, I've found nothing at the show to shape my belief that right now there are some very obvious winners in each market sector. The best small car is the Ford Fiesta. Move up the ladder and you'll find the best mid-range hatchback is the Fiat Bravo, or its five-door sister, the Brava. Despite advancing years, the Mondeo is as good as you'll get if you just want a bread-and-butter family saloon, while the Audi A4 is unbeatable if you want bread, butter and some jam. For those who want clotted cream as well, there's the BMW 5 Series, not just the best executive car, but one of the best cars made, full stop.
The Silver Spirit is not the loveliest Rolls-Royce ever, but that flying lady and classical grille guarantees serious presence and nobility. This is the last word in one-upmanship. But a brand new Silver Spirit would set you back a suicide-inducing £113,000. So you say this motoring monarch is hugely irrelevant. But wait, this gloriously pristine 1981 car could be yours for the price of a new Daewoo, around 12 grand. It has done its depreciating and has years and years of faithful and obedient service left. And don't forget, one day they won't be allowed to make cars like this. Struggling to better 12 miles to the gallon, it'll be deemed too big, too thirsty, too politically incorrect. But if you want to indulge in some upmarket mischief, to play the plutocrat, now's the time, because class like this has never been more affordable. Whatever you might think about this Rolls's bulk and girth, it does remain a very splendid way of getting about. You sit here in your own private world, insulated from every sensation of movement and noise. The 6.7-litre V8 never raises its voice above a well-bred whisper. But of course, one doesn't drive a car like this fast. One merely wafts along, feeling moneyed and superior. And probably the greatest myth surrounding the Silver Spirit is that you need to have Rupert Murdoch's handbag to run one. Well, you don't. Make Exchange and March your map of the world and you'll find lots of second-hand roller spares. How about a mascot for a century or 100 quid to you? A hubcap for £50. You can even get the rubber down to 70 quid a corner. A rear light lens is 110, and a full service should set you back £200. Just think, you can beat the system and join it at the same time. The earliest Spirit is now 15 years old. Touch wood, and there's plenty of it, they have no serious problems. All the mechanical running gear is Silver Shadow, so that's been tried and tested. As you'd expect, the bodywork is fairly corrosion-free, and I've yet to see a rusty Spirit. The only serious niggling problems will be electric window lifts and seat motors giving up the ghost. Always get one professionally inspected, though. Make sure you get it in a dark colour, blue or black, that it's got a service history, and always make sure it's got a leather interior rather than velour, because a Rolls just isn't a Rolls without a bit of hide inside. But this is one Spirit which won't haunt you when it comes to insurance. We did a ring round and came up with some surprisingly sensible quotes. Because spirits don't get thrashed and trashed, insurance isn't dear. For a 30-year-old with a decent NCB, we got $351 a year. That's right, less than £400 fully comp on a roll-up. And if you feel that imposing Doric radiator a little too vulgar, you could go for something less conspicuous, like a Bentley.
Both cars are virtually identical apart from the badges and the grille. This is actually a 1982 Mulsanne that's been up-spec to look like a Turbo R with the double headlamps and the alloys. It's worth probably 16 grand, but looks like 50. Find one in Balmoral green or black, and before you know where you are, they'll be asking you to join the Freemasons.
They might look similar, but Spirit and Mulsanne are very different creatures. Where the double R is Araviste, the Bentley reeks of old money. That both are currently available at such remarkable rates means that these are the best value second-hand cars, bar none. And values have fallen to the level of silver shadows, and they're unlikely to fall any further. Buy now and you'll have the satisfaction of knowing that you got in at the bottom of the market. You could literally sell on in a year or two and still get close on what you paid. That does make owning a Daewoo seem rather extravagant.